I'm hoping to do comedy in Kenya. I want to do a movie. Yeah. If I can't do it in Kenya, I want to pull it off at the Hollywood. You know, I must do a comedy.
What does it take to rise from Nairobi to the global stage of CNN, win an Emmy Award, lose the role, and come back stronger than ever? This is the story of Jeff Koinange, a man who didn't just report the news, he became the story. Born in 1966 in Kenya, Jeff Koinange's life didn't start with fame. His father died when he was just a child, leaving his mother to raise the family alone. From a young age, Jeff had something powerful: confidence, curiosity, and a voice that demanded attention. He attended St. Mary's School in Nairobi, a place that shaped many of Kenya's elite minds. But his journey will take a global turn. Before journalism, Jeff was a flight attendant. Yes, flying across continents, meeting different cultures, seeing the world up close.
The last Africa Journal of 1997. The spirit of innovation is alive and thriving across the continent, as Africa Journal has reported throughout the year.
That exposure changed everything. He moved to the United States, studied at the New York University, and chose journalism as his weapon. Not just to report stories, but to tell Africa's story to the world. Jeff joined CNN in 2001, and this is where everything changed. He reported from war zones, covered conflicts in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Darfur, and stood at the center of Africa's biggest stories.
I'm Jeff Koinange. Welcome to Rwanda Television News. And in case you think you've switched to Citizen Television, don't panic. This is RTV, and yes, I'm the guest anchor. In the headlines tonight, President Paul Kagame has pointed out that the African Continental Free Trade Area is the answer to the problem of the continent's need to import food products, saying that
he wasn't just a journalist, he was fearless. Then came the moment that defined his career. He won an Emmy Awards for covering famine in Niger, a Kenyan on the world stage, winning one of journalism's biggest honors.
30 such memorials spread across the country in honor of the close to 1 million people who lost their lives in the spring of 1994. Now, away from the formal ceremonies, many Rwandans are recalling just where they were and what they were doing the day evil came calling. That's when Hutu extremists, otherwise known as the Interahamwe, a loose translation meaning those who kill together, set about on a campaign of savage slaughter, bent on exterminating the minority Tutsis. They shot, clubbed, hacked, and butchered for 100 days. And all this while the world stood by and watched. 10 years later, the scars of genocide are everywhere here.
But success comes with pressure. In 2007, a report in Nigeria sparked controversy. The government accused CNN of staging a story.
1994, a little over a week after the genocide began in earnest. Right here in this church, several hundred Tutsi families seeking refuge in the one place they thought would be a safe haven. Suddenly, they were surrounded by scores of members of the Hutu militia. And by the time the day was...
Even though it was denied, the damage was done. Jeff Koinange left CNN. From global fame to uncertainty, for many, that would have been the end. But not Jeff. He returned to Kenya and rebuilt from scratch.
I'm hoping to do comedy in Kenya. I want to do a movie. Yeah. If I can't do it in Kenya, I want to pull it off at the Hollywood. You know, I must do a comedy movie.
Really?
Yeah. I'm giving myself like 5 years, just like you said. Yeah.
Do you see yourself like an Eddie Murphy or Will Smith or Jamie Foxx?
First at K24, where he launched his talk show. Then came the real breakthrough, a show that changed Kenya's television forever. Bold questions, deep interviews, unfiltered conversations. Jeff didn't just interview leaders, he made them reveal their truth. Today, Jeff Koinange is more than just a journalist. He is a brand, a voice of authority, a cultural icon. From radio at Hot 96, to primetime TV, he dominates Kenya's media space. His deep voice, his signature, it's a fact. His larger-than-life presence, all unforgettable. But there is more. Jeff is also an author for the Through My African Eyes book, a mentor and a philanthropist, a man who built a library in Kibera to give back.
And he says, listen, guys, remember what I told you the other day that I may not make it past, through the month of July. Look, I think it's going to be sooner. So here's what I want you guys to do. And he laid out the entire plan of how he wanted to be buried. And there we are, we're sitting there wondering, what the hell's going on? He says, Barrett, you're going to do this. PK, Peter Kenneth, you're going to do this. PQ, Patrick Kwaku, you do this. J.O., Joshua, you do this. And Jeff, this is what you want. He gave us all assignments. And he says, the rest, one boy, his beautiful wife, would take care of. And there we are, we're saying, goodness, Bob, we're going to meet this Wednesday, right? We're supposed to meet again this coming Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to meet again this week. He says, yeah, but you know what? You guys just keep that in mind.
But behind fame is a man who never forgot where he came from. Jeff's life hasn't been perfect. Public scrutiny, personal controversies, media pressure. But through it all, he stayed relevant, reinventing himself again and again. From a young boy in Nairobi to CNN to controversy to comeback, Jeff Koinange's story is a proof of one thing. Success is not just about falling. It's about rising every single time.
Start tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Ayub of the Cadel.
At citizens beginning the hashtag JK Live. JK Live begins
Right now.
right now. Tonight.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more powerful Kenyan stories. This is Kesh Media Kenya, where stories come alive. Stay informed, stay inspired, and we will see you in the next one.